All right, it's a few minutes after. I know I got some emails from people saying they couldn't make it, and I am recording the session so that I can go ahead and share that to people who aren't able to make it so they can get all the information. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to just either you can put it in the chat or you can just unmute yourself and ask. That's totally fine. So we'll just jump in and get started. So this is an information session about multicultural housing. I just realized I already have a typo on my title page, so sorry about that. Multicultural housing. And this is going to be hopefully the first year that we are having multicultural housing on campus starting in the fall. We offered this last year, we didn't have quite enough interest, and so year will be different, and from what I'm hearing it will be, so I'm very excited about that. So let's jump in. So why are we doing multicultural housing, and what is this particular multicultural housing all about? So this is inspired by the first Black woman, Alma Jean Prince, to graduate from Hanover in 1951. It's intended to foster community and provide a unique living learning experience of a common area for students. And so our hope is that people who are living in this housing will have a safe, inclusive environment on campus to call their home. The group of students who will live in AGP multicultural housing will be supported by an RA who will support the mission of multicultural housing by providing ongoing programming in that area. So there will be an RA who is given programming money to do specific programming for the multicultural community. So where is the location going to be? That is a very good question, and I've been getting questions a lot from people like, where do you think it's going to be? And honestly, I have no idea, and I'll be happy wherever it is. So the factors that will go into making our decision about where it's going to be located is how many applications we receive, how many applications are accepted by the review committee, and then on those accepted applications, the location's preferenced. And so when you see the application, it gives you an opportunity to say all of the different types of housing you would be willing to live in and what those cost. So the options could include double rooms on a hall in Coulter or Crow, a suite in any of our suite housing, an apartment or townhome, or a house. So it really can be basically anything. And a lot of it is just really going to depend on how many people and what the interest levels are, because the goal here is to house as many people as who want and need multicultural as possible. So based on the number, we want to pick the right location for that group. Does anyone have any questions about location? Okay, I'll keep going. The application process. So I sent out the application via email that also had all of the interest-based housing. So if you're trying to find that application in your email, you can search interest housing and it should pop up from me. But this is the link as well, but it's hard to click on a PowerPoint. So, but this is where it is. And this year, in lieu of an essay, and we think that last year probably the essay made it so some people decided that they didn't really want to apply. We have just made it much simpler, and we're just asking every applicant to put how this housing will improve on-campus living. It can be as brief or as complex of an answer as you want, but that brief explanation will be how decisions are made to a certain extent. We want to know that people are going to benefit from this and know that they want this for a reason. It is going to be selected, both the location and the people who will be living there will be selected by our committee that's interest-based housing. So interest-based housing includes the LGBTQ+ housing, global scholars, and multicultural housing. So the people who are on that selection committee is Samantha Gruno, who's the current RA for LGBTQ+ housing, Rio Takagi, who is the incoming global scholars RA for next year, Lauren Steele, who is on this call and is the current RA, Alex Edison, who is my resident select student assistant, myself, and then DJ Walsh. He's the associate director for upper class housing, and so he oversees those specific areas of campus that will have interest-based housing. So that's who the committee will be. They will review applications and then decide which applications are accepted, and then decide location and roommates and all the specifics from there. The timeline is applications are due March 18th. So Thursday, March 18th, that's a week from Thursday, on the SurveyMonkey link. We already have 4 applications, so that's really great. And I don't believe anyone on this call has submitted them yet, so that would make more, which is even better. The selection committee is going to meet Friday, March 19th. And then notifications of who has been accepted and what the housing assignment is will be sent out on Monday, probably Monday morning, the 22nd, as quickly as I can get that done. And the nice thing is with interest-based housing, it's the very first housing that's going to be selected. And so once it's done, and you can breathe a sigh of relief and not have to worry about any of the other processes or applications, because it's finished, which is great. Get it in quickly and be done with it. Okay, so now any questions people have about the housing at all? It can be anything. There are no questions, truly? Did I cover everything that people might need to know? Okay, if you really don't have any questions, you can feel free to leave. I'm going to stop the recording so that if you do have questions, but you don't want that on the recording, you can stick around and I can do one-on-one questions too.